What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. We didn't do it for the past couple of games. I kind of forgot because I was starstruck hanging out with Rappel there. But Rappel's left me. He's going to bed. It's very late where he's from, so in Greece right now. It's 10:55 a.m. on a Friday, I believe. So, or Saturday. Saturday? I think is it Saturday? It is 100% Saturday. I've lost track of time. Nonetheless, we've got Jiggly spawning in the bottom of the map here playing as Oranos. He's actually playing quite a few different gods here. So shaking things up. We'll see how he's going to go here. His opponent today in the red color playing as Thor. His name is Suppe. So a little bit of a change up here. We got Suppe going in with his Thor, not with Loki anymore. Suppe is the resident Norse expert on the Voobly ladder. Plays all three of the Norse gods and is happy to play all three of the Norse gods in any sort of situation. So we'll see how it's all going to mount in this game. We're on the map Painted Desert. We've got some relics down the bottom of the map. Gungnir, Odin's Spear with the extra Hoplite Spearman, Ulfsark Momillo hack damage. Recently I've been toying with the idea of Oranos players going for double military barracks against Loki. Now, and also against Odin. So if we stretch that over into why we wouldn't do this against Thor, I don't think there's actually a real good reason to not open double barracks now with Oranos against all of the Norse gods. So I don't know if Jiggly is going to be up on this. It's very, very fresh. I think I've seen many people going double barracks with Oranos. The idea is that Norse players open up either Ulfsark, Herser, or Raiding Cavalry first, and Oranos players like to open up Momillo Terma, and those Terma don't end up being that useful. Until throwing axemen start popping out. So what you do as the Oranos, what you should do as the Oranos is go for double Momillo straight off the bat, and then when you start seeing throwing axemen, then throw down the counter barracks. And react to the Norse player in those situations. I'm just going to turn this volume up just a little bit. So I turned it down for the Rappel volume. But all right, we've got some more relics we've been undiscovered or discovered here. Got Thundercloud Shawl here. That's actually a great relic there for the Norse player to pick up. Going to be helping him against pierce damage. Not so good for the lands here, but you should definitely pick it up to prevent your Norse player from getting free armor here in this one. As we jump over here to Suppe, he's always doing some very, very interesting builds here. He goes for 402 here with 7 villagers on food, 3 on wood, and 4 on gold. He's going to be sending 2 more over onto wood here to get himself the extra resources he needs to throw down some longhouses. He's also got a really, really forward temple here. It's being scouted out by Jiggly. We'll see what he's going to come up with here in this game to deal with all of this. But he's going to be under the pump from the very get-go. And we do see a very, very defensive map here for Jiggly as he's going up through Prometheus here in this one. And he's got the back hunt over here. And I like this from Jiggly. This is 100% what you should be doing in nearly every single matchup with Oranos. And the reason for this is Oranos has got this weird weakness at about 4 minutes to 5 minutes into the game, where if you can throw some early units at your opponent, you can do so much damage. But if you just send your oracles back home and you cast Valor immediately, yes, you will get only 3 hero oracles, which might not be as good as 3 Momillo heroes, but you get an immediate hero citizen and you get some units to help defend you straight away. As we see the mana coming up over here for Jiggly. And I love this play. I think this is a really, really smart play here for Jiggly as he's going to be moving his citizen over here. We see the Herser getting some damage, and now the Valkyrie coming over here, going to start putting some pressure onto this food, which I think possibly here Jiggly should be thinking either manually heroizing those oracles or something like that, sending the Promethean up onto this location over here could be a good idea. As the Valor does come in, the oracle's going to move over here and try and take out this Valkyrie as the citizen's making a break for the tower. Come maybe over onto the chickens or something like that. As the Valkyrie moves in here, going to keep trying to put some pressure onto these villages. As we see over here, we've got the double longhouse and the temple on this location. We do see that Suppe leaves villagers on wood here, so he's actually considering, he's actually goes straight into throwing axemen. So maybe the double military barracks option that I was talking about, not the best idea against Suppe, but we're seeing it coming through from Jiggly nonetheless. So Jiggly up with it. We'll see if it's going to work out for him or not here as he sees the throwing axeman coming through straight away. Jiggly with lots of food in the bank here as the unit's going to start colliding. It's a little bit too early to be taking this fight here. Whenever you see a player advancing really fast, you have to realize that they are pushing ahead of you very, very quickly in these sort of games, and you have to wait on your attacks here. As these villages over here, we do still see the hero Oracle sitting on this position. This gold mine over here might be a good option here for Jiggly to jump onto if he gets pushed off of this gold mine over here. And definitely the idea of throwing down that counter barracks here and getting out some turmoil would be a really, really good idea moving forward. So we do see the Promethean offspring looking around the map here, trying to find some sort of a defense here as the hero Oracle just sitting on this gold mine for the time being, doing some nice defense here. We see the Mermiller getting garrisoned into the tower here. It's going to get popped out and potentially get sniped here. As gets a couple of attacks down, but the throwing axeman will clean that up. Jiggly at 51 population to Suppe's 63 population here. A significant advantage here for Suppe moving forward, and we still haven't seen that next military building getting dropped down by Jiggly just yet. She definitely needs to think about doing. But while this is now going on, now we see the raids coming through here for Jiggly. He should be having himself another Valor here in order to deal with this Valkyrie very, very soon, as he does drop it down there. The Mermiller heroes convert there as the villagers are getting chased off of that location there as the looks like the temple does get taken down. Moving over here, we see now counter barracks getting dropped for Jiggly as he realizes, yes, he does need to get some sort of counter throwing axeman out here, and the speedy Mermiller here very smartly going to be running around the map. Turns around, takes this fight. He will be able to take down that raiding cavalry, but he loses 2 hero Mermiller for that and then retreats back as the Mermiller are going to be coming back home. Forest fire getting dropped onto this location over here as one citizen gets taken down as Jiggly is really, really struggling to hold on in this location there. The raiding cavalry going to go down here relatively quickly, it would seem, but looks like Jiggly's still alive, but Suppe has a significant advantage moving forward. He's actually sitting at equal population now, though. So we'll see how things are going to start mounting here. Did we see Jiggly able to get himself husbandry? It looks like he hasn't, so not getting that bonus food income on that just yet. As the tower will get ripped down here. So the villagers coming over here onto the gold mine. The army going to be retreating back up onto this location over here as a bunch of these military buildings just hanging out. We see the longhouse going up over here. We'll see how these guys are going to work out what the best thing to do in this game is going to be. 2 more longhouses getting dropped down here for Suppe actually makes a lot of sense. You can see how many resources he's floating here. He can actually pump from so much more moving forward as his economy is starting to get very, very big here. And now it's going to start seeing some very small raids coming through from Jiggly. Honestly, at this point, Jiggly needs to be trying to fight in a way. Even though he's behind, you kind of want to force the Norse player to engage and get some good trades in. If you can. As we do see the medium infantry comes through for Jiggly. He's going to be moving in onto this position, looking to grab an attack onto those gatherers up there. As the villagers, it looks like the tower probably didn't see the army moving in onto this position, but just a handful of Mermiller coming through here. They do spot the villagers. That's going to be a good raid here for Jiggly moving forward as Suppe is still pumping units out. We see some units coming in onto the front here, trying to distract this, but Suppe does notice this before this all comes in. As the units start attacking over here, we do see that the boundless amounts of throwing axemen have come through as Jiggly needs to start reordering what he's building at this point. He needs to get out a ton more either Cairo Ballista or Terma here in this one, as the army's still going to be looking for raids while this fight is going on. There will be a huge shockwave here coming through, spreading out those throwing axemen all crazy amounts here, as the double Valkyrie is already through here, and we will be seeing Jiggly having to retreat back even more. The town center going to help out a little bit, but a lot of losses coming through here as Suppe doesn't even care. He's moving through into this location. Jiggly forgetting about his raiding force over there, hitting this location while this is all going on. Could be absolutely gigantic for Jiggly, but we'll see if he's going to be able to hold on, and it does look like he does manage to kill off so many of those raiding cavalry as Suppe has to retreat back here. Suppe getting a little bit too overly aggressive on this one. As the throwing axemen do turn around, those Terma will be able to snipe down some of those throwing axemen there while the fight's continuing on, but a lot of those Murmillo do fall while the fight is continuing here. Again, these units here looking for some more raids. He will be moving them up onto this location over here, it seems, as the army going to be rebuilding here. And now we're going to start seeing some Prometheans coming out for Jiggly to continue in onto this one. Pushes in over here. We see the villagers going to be retreating away here as Suppe moves up onto this position, just hanging out on his food, happily grabbing all of the hunt on the map. He's getting such an advantage from that extra hunt, getting Aurora Borealis. Going to be able to have so many Valkyrie here, which are a really, really tough unit for the Atlantean players to deal with at this point in the game, though those Prometheans will be a good help. As the army's still searching around, looking for something to do. We do see the throwing axeman coming back over here, going to be helping out as well. As this Valkyrie over here getting pushed back, we see the Terma taking down one throwing axeman, going to be taking down even more units here. As the house gets deleted by Suppe, it seems, as Suppe wants to get his army in onto this position. As the Murmillo coming through, we do see some throwing axemen coming in onto the back here, as those Terma can very simply start targeting those down. The Promethean can get over there as well, as the raiding cavalry getting taken down. 100 population for Jiggly at 105 for Suppe, as Suppe is getting the defender's advantage here quite significantly. One unit dies and then one pops out at this point here for Suppe, as Jiggly has to retreat yet again, as he just can't work his way through this army just yet. The villagers have managed to make their way up onto these giraffe, though. Very, very dangerous position to be in, but sneaky nonetheless. So we'll see how that's going to go, as Suppe is just happily sitting back, allowing Jiggly to have to force the move here, as the army is going to be kind of giving away their raiding path here as they move straight by those longhouses. The villagers over here just about to finish up on the giraffe, but the army is going to come over here and defend this raid here ever so slightly. It looks like Jiggly's just going to have to keep moving through here. Maybe take out a villager or something and then be on his way, as one villager kill. Yeah, just barely going to lose a Murmillo or two for that kill, but gets away, as we do see the raid now coming in onto the villagers over here, as the citizen have to retreat the long way. Did he get a villager kill? I don't think so. I think there was only 2 villagers on that hunt there. So he gets all the way back to this gold mine. Should be able to garrison into the manor, but he hasn't clicked it just yet, as the citizen will end up falling over there. 2 citizens falling, as Jiggly makes a vital mistake there, as his army's still going to be distracting Suppe away, but Suppe is getting closer and closer to the next stage. Not only that, going up with Bowsaw as well, but this raid coming in onto this hunt over here, pushing Suppe off of this one, as the army going to swing in here, potentially get some villager kills on the way out as well, as he gets a nice path block there. That's a lot of dead villagers here, but there's a big army getting caught out. Imagine Forest Fire on this position. Forest Fire is not available here at this point, but the army going to be retreating away here. The Hearser coming through as well to try and deal with those Prometheans as best as he possibly can, as the army will pull back here. We'll see how it's all going to go. More units coming out for Jiggly. He's going to be searching around the map, but we see Suppe actually, he was very close to the heroic age, but instead he decides to go for medium cavalry and more units, as we see Jiggly grabbing this town center with tons of citizen on this one. And I think this is what Jiggly wants. Jiggly wants to see Suppe sticking in the classical age, but the question is whether or not he's going to be able to hold on to a second gold mine moving forward here, sitting at 105 or 150 population with 900 gold in the bank. These villagers here don't necessarily need to be gathering gold anymore, so garrisoning them is not going to be the worst thing in the world. Not only that, there is a gazelle, a couple of hyena over here, and a chance for Jiggly to sort that all out, as we do see a big raid coming in onto this position over here, hitting the villagers of Suppe, as he's going to be pulling back. The army of Suppe coming through here, going to be helping out as well, as we see a watchtower getting dropped by Suppe to make sure he's going to be nice and defensively here positioned, as the Promethean coming in onto this location, going to be pushing those throwing axemen back ever so slightly, as they come in trying to deal as much damage as they possibly can over here. Big shockwave coming through as well, pushing those throwing axemen nice and close to the Terma over here. The question is going to be, can those Promethean deal with the Shield Maiden Valkyrie on this position or not, as a handful more units coming in for Suppe. But now we're on the defensive position here for Jiggly, as Jiggly's also going to be getting out some catapulties here to deal with those medium raiders, as the Valkyrie getting some good damage done over here. Meanwhile, on this position, Jiggly looks like he's dealt with this nicely, as he's almost managing struggling to find his way back into this game. Farm starting to get dropped down now for Jiggly all over the place here as the units getting cleaned up over here. The Shield Maiden Valkyrie still getting some good damage done as the Hersa comes through, going to be dealing with those Promethean offspring really, really nice and easily though. Population differential here is 77 population for Jiggly to 101 for Suppe, so a huge advantage here for Suppe, but Jiggly is still distracting really, really nicely here as he's going to pull back his army. We do see some Hersa coming onto this gold mine now, as Jiggly's now sitting at 1,000 gold. Honestly, probably, yes, he wants to get as much gold as he can because he knows he's probably going to get pushed off the gold mine. But what he should be doing is getting some more wood here and getting some more farms out to get some more of those juicy units that he absolutely needs. As he does decide to turn around onto this location, we see bronze shields of Thor coming through here for Suppe as well. Because that's going to help out against those Terma ever so slightly, as the village is going to get pulled off of this gold mine here. One citizen does end up going down. Another mana coming up onto this position here for Jiggly, as the village is going to move over onto the wood location there, as Suppe trying to change the field of battle here, moving down onto that gold mine, but sitting underneath this town center is in defender's advantage for Jiggly. We'll see if Jiggly is going to be able to hold this one for the time being here, but he's just got no food, he's got no wood, he's got tons of gold, he's got a little bit of favor, so he can make more Promethean out if he so chooses, but they're not going to be the best here, as Suppe is getting further and further ahead in this game, playing it absurdly well at this point, as now the town center can start getting targeted down here. Over here we see no gold getting grabbed, villagers onto the wood over here, the farms getting pushed off on this location here. That's 2 farms getting taken down, there's 3 farms over here that are going to get pushed off as well. As another really big move here, which Jiggly can do, is simply just kill off these farms. They have 400 HP, very low hack armor, and get killed off incredibly fast. It's one of the big weaknesses of Oranos. If you want to be focusing on that, as we do see watchtowers coming through. I think there's only 1 watch or 2 watchtowers here for Jiggly at this point, as 2 have already been taken out. As some citizen moving over onto this location, going to be sneaking onto that gold mine while all is being said and done. We'll see how long he's going to be able to stick onto that one for the time being. Meanwhile, walls getting thrown up all over the place here for Suppe, as Suppe is just saying, look, classical age is the way to go here, as he is having an absolute he's just doing whatever he wants in this game. He's having a fantastic time here, as the mana getting thrown up over here for Jiggly. Raids coming through as well for Jiggly, realizing he needs to get that sorted out. 1 town center apiece here, 91 population for Jiggly, still managing to be alive in this game, but it's just barely. It's barely hanging on, as the Mamilo do manage to find these villages over here. 45 villages to 19 citizens. So technically, the village count is actually in the favor of Jiggly in this game for the time being. So if he can actually stabilize here, his economy should be probably winning at this point. So we'll see if he's going to be able to make that work here, as the units do find their way onto this location over here. The Term are going to be sitting underneath that watchtower here, getting more and more damage done, as Suppe not reacting here just yet. Going to turn around now, start shanking those Terma down, as the Mermillo and Terma ball here has done a lot of damage. Moving over onto this gold mine now as well, as the raids continuing through here for Jiggly. He is playing this one really nicely. He's managing to deal with his position beautifully. As he comes over onto this position, we see the dwarves turning around, going to start shanking away here. As long as those Terma pull back, those Mermillo are fine to tank for a little bit, as the Terma gets some good damage done from afar. But we've got ourselves 94 of 95 population here for Jiggly. He needs to get himself another mana down. We see the the citizen coming over here onto this gold mine. Those citizens still managing to sit onto this spot here, farming for somehow here, as Suppe pushing around here, trying to pick off some more citizens, but just not able to do so. Going to grab this down center now for himself. Why not? As some towers coming up onto this gold mine over here, as the villagers sitting back here. We see the Mermillo coming in onto this position, going to get some damage done. Thundering Hooves coming through for Suppe, as well as Bronze Mail, as now we see a tower coming up onto this town center, as well as Masons here to hold on to this one as best as he can, as really a lot of damage being done to Suppe's economy here from these raids. But we'll see if it's going to matter here, As the building's going to slowly start getting taken down over here, more units getting built over here as Jiggly can start throwing up some more barracks onto this position. As one citizen going to go down, some more towers coming up onto this position as well. As Crenellations is getting grabbed here by Jiggly as he is desperately trying to hold on over here as the army does come back to snipe this raiding party that Jiggly has sent out. Nice response finally from Suppe. As I mean, Suppe's got all the farms set up over here. He's doing a great job on this location. We do see some Olsarks out here for Suppe, searching around here looking for some good damage, but double towers up on this location. Not only that, we do see the citizen over here happily mining on that gold mine, but they're going to move over into this corner over here, start chopping down some wood. 17 villages, 17 citizens to 33 villages for Suppe. Right now, Suppe's advantage is purely military here, so Jiggly just needs to get some more towers up, in all honesty, here and defend this as best as he can without taking too many losses here. But he's seeing an 85 population. We see big shockwave coming down there as the village is going to be jumping off of the towers, or jumping off the gold mine into the towers here, as the tower's going to attempt to hold here as best as they possibly can. More units coming in here for Jiggly, doing his best. Suppe's at 4k score to Jiggly's 2.5k at this point, finding an incredible advantage and more units pumping in onto this position. Suppe's going to be able to take down the towers. There's not many units left here for Jiggly at all. More Murmillo coming in, but just very few amounts of resources of income here for Jiggly somehow, some way here. As look at these armor upgrades here for Suppe. He's effectively got iron shields here with the relic on top of bronze shields, and that's just game there. As Jiggly taps out, he almost manages to bring this back. Those raids were absolutely relentless. They did so much damage, and honestly, Suppe's villager count is really low here. Technically, if you look at this, Jiggly at 15 citizen, he was at 20 citizen here. 20 citizen times 3 is 60 effective villagers, and Suppe's only at 37. So if Jiggly could have stabilized here, it actually was completely fine. But I mean, you just have to look at the post game, look at the military units lost kill. It's really close. The resource tab, Suppe is in front, but it's barely in front. A lot of this is just because of that farm transition going really poorly for Jiggly and having some really tough times here. I think in the early game, what happened here was Jiggly overcommitted to trying to defend against that location here, and he needed to have the heroes over on this location, and then he could just move his citizen over here and be completely fine after that early pressure. Not go for an early fight. Whenever your opponent advances before you, you don't want to fight them until you've caught up to their army. You can always select their units and see how many they've got, select yours and see how many you've got, and then judge that fight from there. But a really well played game by Suppe. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.